Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mindful Money Moves. I'm Melody, and today we're diving into a topic that I think is really important for a lot of people, especially when you're in a relationship: financial stability and how you can protect yourself.
Yes, it's such an important conversation, Emma, especially for women. Sometimes we get so caught up in the idea of giving, thinking that it'll bring us closer or prove our love.
The nurturing instinct.
Exactly. But we need to realize that financial stability is just as much about knowing your worth, protecting your energy, and setting boundaries, right?
100%. Financial stability isn't just about how much money you make. It's about how you manage it, protect it, and align your values with your actions.
Right.
So today, Zia and I are going to talk about how to avoid being financially taken advantage of in relationships, particularly if family or societal pressures are involved.
Let's start by talking about something a lot of people don't like to talk about: financial manipulation. We know it's a thing, but people don't always realize when it's happening. For example, have you ever been in a situation where you've been asked to contribute more than you should in a relationship, or even with family, thinking it's the right thing to do?
Oh, definitely. I think we all have at some point. It's so easy to fall into that trap where you feel guilty if you don't help, or like you should be doing more, especially if it's a family member or someone you love.
Yeah, that guilt.
But that guilt can be manipulated, and sometimes we don't realize that what's happening isn't just generosity, it's exploitation.
Right. And it's so tied to those family beliefs and values we carry, you know? Growing up, you might have been taught that family comes first, no matter what. So when you're asked to give, whether it's financially, emotionally, or physically, you just do it.
Without question.
Without questioning whether it's actually fair to you or sustainable for you.
That's so true. And the dangerous thing is what happens next. You end up in a situation where you're constantly sacrificing your own financial health, putting others' needs first, and eventually, you're the one who ends up in debt or without any financial assets to your name.
Totally. I mean, think about it.
I know people who've been in long-term relationships or marriages where their partner didn't let them have any control over joint assets or made them feel like they weren't smart enough to handle the money.
Exactly. It's a form of control. You can be in a partnership for years, putting in all this work, but when it comes time to split assets, you realize, wow, all the work I've put in hasn't been valued financially.
Right, especially if your contribution wasn't a traditional paycheck.
Yes, and sometimes it's because you've been manipulated into thinking your value is based on your ability to give to others, not protect yourself or your own future.
And it's not just about money, is it? It's about knowing your worth, setting those crucial boundaries, and understanding that giving doesn't always mean love, and sacrifice doesn't always mean selflessness. Protecting yourself is just as important as being generous, if not more.
Let's dig into that a little more, because the family piece is huge. I know from me growing up, there was always this pressure to put family first, whether it was helping out financially, being there emotionally, or just doing something out of obligation. Sometimes those old values and beliefs get in the way of clear financial decision-making.
That's so true. It's like we have this old programming running in the background. A lot of times, we don't even realize we're letting those past beliefs dictate our current financial decisions. Like if your parents or grandparents lived through really hard times and you grew up with the idea that you need to work hard and sacrifice everything for the family, it can be really, really hard to break out of that mindset.
Right, and because of that, you can find yourself paying for things that aren't really your responsibility, whether it's recurring family emergencies, someone else's debt, or just trying to be the good daughter or the good partner.
The peacemaker role.
Exactly. But here's the reality. If you're always the one giving, you're putting yourself at risk financially. You're allowing people to rely on you in ways that are unhealthy, and they might not even realize they're taking advantage of you.
That's why it's so important to stop and ask yourself, what do I really need right now? And I don't mean just money-wise. I mean, what do I need emotionally and mentally to feel stable and secure?
That's such a good point.
I think when we're constantly caught up in what everyone else needs, we forget to check in with ourselves.
Okay, so that's the why. Let's get into the how. How do we actually safeguard our financial health, regardless of what's going on around us? I think there are 3 key things we can do every day to make sure we're not at risk of being manipulated or controlled financially.
I love that. Actionable steps. Okay, what's the first one?
The first thing is know your financial boundaries. What do you feel comfortable giving, and what are you unwilling to budge on? If you're in a relationship where your partner is asking for more than you're comfortable with, it's okay to say no.
Yes, and really sit with that. You're not being selfish for saying no. You're being responsible for your own future.
Exactly. And if you have family asking for money, you don't need to say yes right away. Take a moment to think, can I really afford this? Is it a true emergency? Does giving this money put me at risk of being in debt myself?
It's okay to prioritize your own well-being over other people's demands. Okay, what's number 2?
The second thing is track your spending and income regularly. I know it sounds basic, but it's crucial. It doesn't matter if you're employed or unemployed. Knowing where your money is going is power.
I totally agree. Knowledge is power. Apps like Mint or even a simple budget notebook can help you see how much you have, what you're spending on, and where you can cut back. It's about being aware.